The Sylas B1 of the overall draft, Bunch. This is a crazy draft coming in from Suning. Damn, I guess you really just can't give this over tonight, can you?
I don't know if that was worth, man. Nocturne and Diana. I
oh,
feel
it's
like,
not worth to me.
I mean, hey, you get the Moonfall. You do get the Moonfall, so I guess you kind of also have the Diana, but I don't know. I don't know. That was an interesting one. We'll see how the rest of the draft pans out. I'm curious what their 2 and 3 is based off of this, because they'll have known that this Nocturne comes out.
Okay, Trundle, early pick. Oh, okay. I guess they don't care about it at all. Trundle and Camille, so they're showing their complete topside here. Normally, people don't want to do it, and the Jack's being hovered for QingTian and insta-locked into the Camille. I like this draft from TES. I feel like they're really getting the better of Suning here.
369 is back, and he's in the form of QingTian, bringing the Jacks out in the footsteps of 369 for QingTian at the top side. It's a great matchup into the Camille. Thresh going to be banned away here by Top Esports as they, I guess, are looking a bit more aggressive on the bottom side. Wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Draven Kalista kind of deal coming on through, especially with this Diana, this Nocturne. They can be very aggressive, and the Draven will be banned by Suning.
Yeah, and the Kalista banned from TES. Makes you wonder what TS wants to pick on 4. They do have the potential to get Varus. Yeah, like they could take Varus away here, which would be strong. With Thresh being banned out by themselves, you probably are not going to be seeing an Aphelios, even though we haven't seen it creep into the meta with some other supports. It's going to be really interesting from JackeyLove. I mean, I guess the other thing you have to consider always when watching TES is the Cog Lulu, you know, JackeyLove's favorite. Ezreal being hovered right now, though. It's locked in.
Yeah, so Ezreal still his most played of the split, so not, well, the Aphelios now will have overtaken, but previous to this series, Ezreal was tied with the Aphelios for most played, so going to be playing weak side on the bottom lane, but the Jinx is available. With Thresh banned, it's a little bit more difficult, and Tahm Kench is gone, so you can't play the same protective style without Thresh in that bottom side. This going to be Aphelios, though.
What? Wow, he played Aphelios. That is some confidence. Playing Aphelios here without a Thresh into Diana, Jax, and Nocturne. That seems like a tough task. I feel like he must go shield bow this game, or it's going to be really, really hard for Huanfeng to play the game.
I'll have to see. I'm curious what support they go with as well. As you say, the Peel support's gone. One of them was reworked out of existence, and one of them's been banned. And it's going to be the Alistar that comes on through. I wouldn't have minded something like a Taric, honestly. In this kind of game, when you got this much AD on the enemy team, and you got this much dive as well, Taric could have been beautiful. But it is going to be the Braum comes out from Zhuo. Very, very defensive bottom side from Top Esports, and a lot of power on the top half of the map.
Yeah, and I think the TES got a great draft here. I feel like they have good lanes pretty much everywhere. And going into the mid game, I think that this is going to be another situation where Suning is going to have to establish vision control early to make use of the Sylas and the Camille in team fights here. I think the TES just really came out ahead here. Jackson to Camille. This matchup is actually pretty interesting. Over time, I think ideas on it have changed. People used to think that Jax just straight up beat the Camille. Now it's more like 50-50 in lane phase, but Jax massively outscales. So we'll have to see how top lane goes. That being said, Bin is one of the absolute best Camille players. Everyone remembers the Omni, what is it, Omni Stone? Wait, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Omni Stone Camille.
Yeah.
With Ignite versus G2, and we'll see what he ends up taking here. I wonder if it'll be a Grasp or a Conqueror on this one. I guess we'll have to watch Druid's stream to figure it out.
We'll have to see. I am curious about this Trundle pick as well, because we were talking about Trundle coming into this series. We were talking about how it could be a top lane, it could be a jungler for Top Esports. Yeah, not for SofM. He continues to surprise us across the course of today. But also, it's pretty good into things like the Nocturne. It's pretty good into anything that wants to jump into the middle of everyone, be able to steal the resistances and just shred them like paper. So certainly can see value, and it does feel like this composition from Suning is all about protecting Huanfeng, right? The Trundle can very much play that peel front line, same for the Alistar. And then you've got Angel and Bin to try and disrupt at the same time, and Bin as your hard engage. So I can see the benefits of this composition from Suning. I can see them winning it if they can get creative again. And that's one thing we have to credit for them for, right? They have been creative across the course of the series.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a hard Trundle game here. I wonder if he actually will go more of the Bruiser build. We've been seeing some Divine Sunder Trundle in top lane and in jungle in some other regions. And I think the hard part about Trundle here is that he doesn't have a very easy target to ult. If Jack's ults prior to Trundle ult, that's a good target. But normally you want to be playing Trundle into an aftershock support. So if they go in, you can steal all their stats. Like Trundle's great into Leona and things like that. So we'll have to see the value of Trundle throughout this game and if he's able to actually be this tanky frontline monster that you see a lot of the time from this pick.
Yeah, my eyes are once again going to move over to Angel, though. He's on the Sylas. He's against the Diana. He's against the Nocturne. Even the Ezreal, like True Shot Barrage, can be really, really valuable on the Sylas. So I feel like there are plenty of tools for Suning to find ways to make things happen. But look at this. Late invade from Top Esports. So they want to get vision into the Suning jungle. And in fact, karsa, maybe not even just vision.Maybe just looking to steal away the red buff to start this one off.
Yeah, and it's a good invade here. Ezreal and Braum, two of the best level 1 champions in the game from bot lane. Braum Q, probably the most broken ability possible, as well as Braum passive. In the early game, it's just so good when you get into these invades. If anyone shows up, just one auto on each person, they're all going to be stunned up for a while. So I like this invade coming out. We'll have to see if the Trundle is able to vertical here and get the red buff on TS's side. If that is the case, it's going to be pretty hard for QingTian to trade topside, knowing that the Trundle could be behind him in his jungle.
Yeah, I don't know. SofM so far still on the Wolves as the 2v2 happens at the bottom side. JackeyLove's ignited. On is going to go down, though. Flash away. Keeps himself safe. Karsa's moving in. Huanfeng, you saw him on a wall. Wow. You should know that this is happening, but he gets knocked up under the tower. Karsa's going to go down, and Suning's bot lane does it again.
That is an absolute tragedy for karsa there, trying to commit with the flash E, but the heal coming out from Huanfeng. I think he actually burned it earlier, but it just wasn't possible onto On. On still had his Q up, was able to stun karsa under the turret, and that is a big swing right here. SofM looking to potentially contest onto this blue buff, though. Looks like he's actually going mid here.
On Hate is going to eat their heart out today because he is performing. That was a beautiful pulverize out from him. And flash away. Really, really nicely done by the Suning bottom lane. It looked like they were losing the 2v2. I thought that they were in trouble. I thought they didn't know that karsa was going. Turns out it was all a bait. Just a great bait, mate. 8 out of 8 on that one. Invade onto the blue side as Knight's in trouble in the mid lane here. Angel dodges the fear, looks for the knock-up himself. Knight might even just get solo killed, to be quite honest. There's a good spell shield. SofM looks to head him off. Or maybe just goes for the crab. They're not going to commit. Surely that's a kill.
I've watched enough Blabberfish to know that this crab is more important than anything else on the map. I would trade that for their Nexus. Good play from SofM there.
Oh my god, we got a solo kill on the top side. Bin is trying to dive onto QingTian. He's 1 HP, but he can't close the gap. Oh, so close and yet so far. Now SofM and karsa dueling. We got a hell of a game for ourselves here. The smite comes on through. The dueling potential of this Trundle is absolutely insane. Angel gets the kill to finish it off. Knight in a 1v2 now. He has flash available. There's a TP coming on through. He might just 2v1 this one. What is Nocturne on 11-13? He just autos them to death. Angel flashed on 2, and Knight gets a 2v1.
Yeah, that's a crazy play from Knight, being able to kill them on this invade. It looked really good to start off with SofM getting onto karsa. Trundle so strong in this early game, and karsa eing over without flash. He's pretty much as a sitting duck here, but Nocturne just has the consistent damage. And Angel had not based yet anti-P'd, while Knight had based and got his items, which I think was the difference maker in this fight.
And that spell shield coming out, blocking a lot of the damage. And it means that he's able to just go for that 2v1. Really beautifully done by Knight. And now, guess who's got 2 kills? It's Knight, one of the best mid laners in the world, never mind the LPL. Beautiful stuff to see from the side of Top Esports. This is a huge advantage for them. And when we look across the lanes right now, some big CS leads coming out. We've got a 10 CS lead in favor of Bin and the wave pushing towards him. But in the mid lane, there's a 10 CS lead. There's a 10 CS lead in the jungle for Top Esports as well. So it does feel like this is actually an even game, but it's not even on different lanes. It's not even across the map.
And QingTian ended up getting pretty far behind here because he did TP to that play mid. So Bin is up almost a full level here. No flash on Bin, though.
Baited. karsa goes in. It's too easy for the side of Top Esports. QingTian just had to look juicy. And boy, did he. SofM wants to answer, but he's just going to have to settle for a minion wave.
Yeah, this is actually really unfortunate for Bin. If he just let this wave crash and he was able to catch it under the turret, he would have been super far ahead in this lane. Like we were talking about earlier, QingTian TPing mid with a wave completely crashed on his tier 1 was going to be pretty catastrophic for him. But with this kill, top lane is pretty much even again.
Yeah, that's it's a bit of a heartbreaker. It is only the assist for QingTian, so could be worse for Bin in the grand scheme of things, but still, Karsa getting kills is never going to be good. When you're against a Diana, that Diana getting ahead is always a terrifying prospect. Let's take a second to reset in this game, though, Dom, because I feel like there's been so much early action. We need to try and figure out what the game plan is for the two teams.
Oh, you don't even get a chance to breathe much.
We've got plenty of action. Knight's in trouble. The flash Q to get the slow there. The pillar comes down.
2v1?
Knight, can he 2v1 it again? That is unbelievable. The damage comes through. Angel at least gets the shutdown, but my God, Suning needed more than that.
Oh man, I just wish that we had Jizuke Pro View right here. You could see what he's typing right now in all chat, because that is a banger right there. The slow push coming into top, because SofM is dead, they're not going to be able to actually do anything on this wave. Pretty unfortunate when you have a huge wave like this crash and you're not able to dive or pressure at all on top of it. And QingTian should be able to just collect it, be even. Plate for Bin though, so he still has some gold advantage on the top side. If you see this overlay, he's about to kill up in terms of gold. But yeah, Knight knows that there's absolutely no way out with SofM flanking onto him here. No flash, and he just ends up going directly on to SofM, killing him, knowing that he's going down either way, but a respectable 2v1 effort here from Knight.
After that kill, Knight was level 7 to Angel's level 5 during that fight, by the way. Like, Angel only hit level 6 off of the kill on Knight. That is an insane lead in the mid lane right now. And top esports know it. They're going to move immediately over towards this Drake. Karsa's there. They know there's absolutely no way Angel can significantly impact. So first Drake of the game going the way of top esports. That's been pretty consistent in this series. SofM wants to answer on the top side of the map though. QingTian should know that there's a play available here. Bin has level 6. He's desperately trying to bait QingTian in here. QingTian knows it though. Plays respectfully.
Zhuo's moving up.
Might face check. I don't know about that pathing there, buddy. I don't know if you should have gone back in there. Great ulti out from Bin. Dodges the stun. Roots him, stops the ward jump. Beautiful.
And he just needed to have a little bit of patience there. One thing that LPL is really great at is roaming their support to cover waves that need to be pushed out. And Zhuo based, and he was on his way top with Karsa. If QingTian just waited a little bit more time, he would have been able to have some support on this wave crash here.
You gotta believe that he knew that was coming though, right? His team's doing Drake at the time, like that's the obvious play from SofM.
Yeah, cross map is obvious.
Gets caught out.
Oh,
Karsa steals away the Herald, the Moonfall as well, and in comes Knight from the side, sliding across the screen. Down goes SofM. Karsa gets the Herald. He gets a kill. He gets everything he could ever wanted.
There's a silent protest here from SofM. He doesn't want to be playing Trundle. He wants to be playing Kha'Zix. He wants to be playing Kayn. If this is how the Trundle looks, maybe he'll get those picks more.
He doesn't want to be playing support. Well, I don't know. This kind of performance, maybe he ends up in the bottom lane again. Here we go. Dive in the top side. Well, I say dive. No one's here. It's just going to be the tower taken in the top side with these 3 champions. There's so much auto-attack damage, plus a Herald. There's no way the tower survives. Well, Huanfeng will try and pressure in the bottom side, but JackeyLove is still going to be there. But actually, Suning are able to answer, and the Herald was never dropped, so tower doesn't go down.
Yeah, and I think that this is a little bit greedy from TES, but you can understand what their mentality is. I mean, they get the plates for free anyway. Might as well save the Herald to potentially get an even higher value one mid lane. So I can understand why they decided to hold on to the Herald here. This replay, Karsa just sees that SofM was going on to Herald.
Smite.
Able to commit. Yep, he had Smite, but the eye hit from SofM into Smite was just not there. Then the Nocturne ult to follow up. Pretty easy kill here for TES, and the big win is the Herald on top. So because of that steal, they end up getting both side objectives when they have a stronger, or when TES has a weaker top side and Suning has a stronger top side. That's really heartbreaking when your Camille is not able to enable this neutral objective here.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, that one from SofM, bit dicey. And I think that was just underestimating perhaps how much Karsa could commit to going in there, right? Because he saw the blue plant go over the Herald, so he was aware that Karsa was around, but I think there was 100 HP left on the Herald. He thaught, I could just get a couple of autos in. There's no way that he flashes over and ease in to get the steal. There's no way that'd happen, right? But this is Karsa we're talking about. Of course, he's having to go for that play. So, top esports with a big advantage. Now a TP to the top side. Dive onto QingTian. Can they make it happen here? Pops his ultimate. Angel underneath the tower as well. Has the Jack's ultimate himself as he tanks up the tower. Stun comes in. Hextech ultimatum. Look at the HP bars though. Suning. They barely even took any damage.
Yeah, and this is just a story of who can carry harder. Karsa's mid, though. He's going to drop the Rift Herald here. This is a pretty high-value Rift Herald, getting the mid turret instead of the top turret here. And it really just feels like the story of Game 2. It's all on Bin. Is he going to be able to carry this game through with his massive top lead here?
Bin or bust. That's the story of this series right now. I wasn't open, so Angel can't finish it before the charge. And now a TP in the top side. Bin can't even finish the tower because the plates are still up, so QingTian defends. And it is a 1-for-0 trade in terms of their towers. They already got the 2 plates to the top side. There's a plate gone in the bottom side as well for top esports. Feels like they are really winning out on the cross maps right here. Bin can maybe finish that tower off later on with his Q. Still has a couple of minutes to get that play.
Yeah, and if you look at the gold lead top side, 1,100 gold lead for Bin right here. And QingTian trying to let his turret go down so that he denies the local gold. I appreciate the effort, but not actually able to get the turret to go down here. So, yeah, I think that once Bin backs, yeah, he's got his Divine Sunder, up a completed mythic item into QingTian topside. Should be a good situation for him to be able to solo get this turret if left alone.
Now, the one stick in the mud there is the fact that Drake is coming up in 20 seconds. Top esports grouping up on this bottom side. You can see SofM moving over towards that side of the map, and Angel is there as well. Bin has TP, but he would love to stay top if he can. He would love to finish this tower off. I just don't know if he'll have time to finish it and still TP to influence this Drake.
Yeah, and I guess Suning could decide to just give this Drake. Obviously, with Bin being the strongest member right now, don't really think that Suning can win team fights. It's going to be a huge payday for him. Another 450 gold, 1.5k gold lead topside for Bin, and second drag going to the side of TES here.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see what happens on the third one. I assume that that's where Suning will make their stand.
And the crazy thing is, we've got to point out the gold lead in the mid lane as well. It's a similar lead for Knight over Angel to what we have for Bin over QingTian. Because he was able to get that first tower in the mid lane, QingTian gets slowed. Bin not going to commit. I wasn't sure if that was a potential all-in window. But we are starting to hit spikes across the map. Mythics coming on through. Angel's going to be a little bit late comparatively to Knight. You can see Knight's already got his Mythic, plus a couple of tier 2 items in there as well. Whereas Angel's still lagging behind a little bit. But when it comes to 80 carries, it's slow and steady wins the race here, right? Both scaling 80 carries. Both of them quite happy to just have a super quiet early game where they're just clearing waves and trying to get plates when they can.
Yeah, and I think that both bot lanes kind of scaling like this seems like it would be an advantage for Braum. In a game versus 4 melees, Braum can be so disruptive, able to tag multiple people within the fights. And also, TES has a Jax, right? And even though the Jax is behind the Camille, if the items start getting a little bit more even, or just if time goes on and they keep this same gold disparity between the two, the Jax is going to end up being really powerful within this game. So we're going to have to see how Suning approach this. I feel like they need to play for skirmishes and split up fights around the Camille. Don't think that they will be able to win 5v5s later on. Doesn't seem like a valuable win con.
On's in trouble, but has his ult, gets out to safety. It's going to be a Moonlight Vigil as well from Huanfeng just to deter the play. It's going to be Herald that everyone's grouping up for. And I saw the gold that Knight got from the plates. It was 666. There's something poetic about that when he's playing Nocturne as well. The devil himself trying to make things happen for top esports. It's 5-5 on the scoreboard. Gold just about even, but there's a pick in the jungle. Knight has found On completely alone, just wandering around the jungle, taking down Bin, answering in the bottom side with a tower. At least there's something for Suning. I think that'll be all that they get, although Zhuo gonna be caught there. I'm surprised SofM didn't commit a little bit harder to that play.
Yeah, I think he just knew that because the Herald went down, Diana was laying in wait, so did not really want to commit there. Suning ends up winning the bottom turret, but Zhuo goes down. We'll have to see if, sorry, not Zhuo, On goes down, so we'll have to see if the top tier 1 is answered back. Doesn't look like it so far for TES. TES did get the Herald though, so we'll have to see if the Herald is able to be used either mid or bot. maybe even if they win a fight, it could get a tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, Bin is a split push menace right now. With that Tiamat, he will annihilate the minion waves. He'll put so much pressure on. And this has been a weird game 3. When you consider how the first 2 games went, they were like pretty one-sided in the early game, and then things shook up in the mid game. This game, it has been all about cross-map trades from the first minute of the game. It's been about each team finding advantages in different places. We are exactly neck and neck in terms of gold. There's only a kill apart, but the 2 Drakes for top esports, I think, are the most important thing about this scoreboard, especially with Knight being massively ahead and Ocean Soul coming up with these 2 kinds of compositions when the fights are going to be long. Feels like whoever gets that Ocean Soul is going to be in a fantastic position to win the game.
Yeah, the Dragon is spawning in a minute 30 with TES hitting some of their spikes here. I want to see Suning see if they can get a pick off before with the Camille. Feels like if they run in 5v5 into a Braum, could be a lot more rough. The shield bow did come out from Huanfeng. One of the things we discussed in draft is that the Aphelios has not much peel here, right? Like, it's just a tough game to play Aphelios, so he needs the shield bow to have any way to potentially live through the Knight and Karsa engage.
One thing I'll be looking out for as well is if he has red weapon, using the Moonlight Vigil with the red weapon can basically put you from nothing to full HP again. So I think it's an underrated tool. I think people often think about the ult just being there for the Infernal one-shot, but it can be extremely valuable just for survivability as well. We'll have to see as the fights go on. I will say Aphelios, he does like it when the enemy team wants to try and dive onto him when he can peel back, but there's an extent to which too much dive exists, right? There's an extent to which he can only survive so much. We'll see if he's going to be able to live through these fights. 30 seconds on the Drake, though. Right now, it feels like top esports have control, but soon have a lot of pressure in the bottom side. QingTian in trouble. His E's already on cooldown. There's the stun. The Q comes in. Bin finds the kill. Knight wants to answer, though, and gets the shutdown.
That's a good kill from Bin, but I would say that that trade overall is going to be more advantageous for top, as Bin is a lot stronger than QingTian at this point. With both top laners down, I don't know if Suning could contest this.
Yeah, Knight is still up. He's all of the strength for top esports, unless there's some kind of miracle pick.
Angel's Moonfall.
Can you really afford to allow them to get onto Soul Point here? Karsa just onto the Drake as Zhuo happy to tank up the team here. Huanfeng dropping a turret to make sure they have vision. In comes the TP. QingTian's respawned already. In they go the backline. Angel with a moonfall. Looking for more as they manage to finish off the Diana. Focus Knight. That's got to be the game plan here. Moonlight Vigil dodged away from Knight. Flashes out of the play. QingTian re-entering as Huanfeng falls. And now he can charge on forwards. But the Drake will be taken here. Suning managed to stop the Soul, or do they? The reset? There we go. They finally get the Drake. They back away. It's a pretty even fight at the end of it.
That ended up being pretty good for Suning overall. I thought it might be doomed because the TP came in 5 seconds earlier from QingTian based on his lower death timer, but the engage was actually really well played there from Suning. Angel with the Moonfall, able to get into the backline, but Knight's going on to mid lane with his ulti back up.
Oh, see ya. I guess that's Camille. It just dashes away.
Camille has that ability.
Halfway across the map. Yeah, see you later. Knight can't get the play. Here we go. Let's take another look, because this felt very interesting.
Yeah, and you can really see Angel getting onto JackeyLove, doing so much damage into this backline. Not only did he get onto JackeyLove, he also got onto Karsa, and Karsa going down early in this fight means that the engage from TES was pretty split up here. And as soon as Ben arrives with a TP, TES knows that it's guaranteed Suning Drake. They end up backing off completely from it.
All right, so Suning, they buy themselves a few more minutes here. Herald comes down in the bottom side. QingTian should be able to finish his tower off. I think the Herald will just finish it, although actually won't go down just yet. Bin buys a little bit more time. I mean, that tower surviving doesn't really make that big of a difference to anything. It's going to go down eventually. It's incredibly low, so I don't think it changes the game dramatically, but it does stop QingTian getting a little bit of gold in the short term. So nice little stop there from Bin, and importantly, he's finished 2 items already. Bin is absolutely massive. It does feel like this is just Bin versus Knight. In this game right now, that's exactly what it feels like to me.
Yeah, and if it ends up being Bin versus Knight, late game, Bin on the Camille is going to be able to do way more than Knight, so you're really going to have to see JackeyLove and QingTian step up in the later portion of the game, because Knight's Nocturne, like, this pick just has a cap, right? once you get past the mid game, it's pretty dicey. A lot of your value comes from your ult being able to deny vision in fights, and not so much being able to dive in yourself and do that much damage. And you look, you can see here, he's going on to Angel. He's one-shotting him completely there. Oh, and that's actually so big. Knight gets a huge shutdown onto Angel. I think he got 600 gold off that one. Really big. Knight taking over in this one.
Yeah, that is brutal. And the thing is, Angel never even gets to use his Kingslayer there because the ult comes in, and then on top of that, you get the fear immediately after. So there's just no healing comes out from Angel. Beautifully done. And now, Top Esports, they know that they have an advantage, so they leverage that for deep vision. They're setting up to threaten a Baron if they ever get an opportunity here. Bin is on the opposite side of the map with no TP right now. Feels like this is an opportunity for Top Esports, and Knight just absolutely shreds these towers at this point. There's a tier 2 gone. Karsa trying to back away.
TP from Angel.
Desperate to dive. He's got to do something. Angel TPing in on, looking for the engage. They're on tonight, but the Moonfall comes in. There's the Moonlight Vigil. Can they finish off this Nocturne? They dive into the backline and finish him, taking him down, and now Zhuo will be next on the chopping block. Double kill for Angel. He gets a bit of revenge onto his counterpart mid laner. Maybe the Baron opportunity goes the way of Suning.
It is a 4v3 here. I wonder if Suning is actually just going to start this one off, and I feel like TES just felt way too comfortable topside, knowing that Bin didn't have the teleport to answer botside. The thing they didn't consider there was Angel, who was respawning, had his teleport himself. They were able to force the 4v3 topside before JackeyLove was able to rotate.
Karsa's alive. He has his E. He can go for the steal. Can he make it happen? Has the vision. He's going to go into the pit, but it's taken by SofM. Everybody jumps back out. QingTian having to flash away to safety. It's a valiant effort from Top Esports, but they don't fully commit, and it means that Suning gets the Baron. Suning finally have a gold lead.
Yeah, and Karsa not able to steal that Baron without flash. He had no way to get into the pit. Suning smartly staying towards the top side of this Baron, but as you can see on the replay here, JackeyLove is stuck mid, and as Angel responds, he has teleport ready to go into the top side. They know that Knight has no ult, no flash, and they go directly onto him. On sacrifices his life for the play, but they know if they're able to kill Nocturne, he's pretty much the whole team at this point. After Nocturne is dead, you can see the JackeyLove still not able to contribute to the fight, so Zhuo goes down just like he did.
Yeah, I mean, JackeyLove just not able to be a part of any of it there. You can see 0-0-1 so far. It's kind of a similar story for Huanfeng, really. He's not been a part of much of the action. It's been a lot around the top side of the map. Drake coming up in 20 seconds here, Dom. Talk me through the setups once more.
Yeah, so QingTian is actually topside with TP, but Bin is already here, which means that until the QingTian TP comes down, Suning should be able to get control of this objective. SofM looking like he's getting caught, though.
Oh. Not a great pillar. It means he's going to be caught out there. He tried to block. I think he tried to do it mid-jump there. As Karsa, the Moonfall onto one, doesn't really do anything. Angel now gets the Moonfall back, but Azonia's blocks it. Bin has to do so much in this play to find anything. It's not going to happen. Suning have to back away. This will be sole point now for Top Esports off a great pick onto SofM. Huanfeng, oh, that was a little close. That went down to 60 HP, but can't get the steal.
This was a really interesting situation here. I feel like On is split between two things, because he wants to help his jungler contest vision. Oh, looks like he's getting caught.
He wants to go here. On's in trouble. Does have his ultimate. He's tanky, and Knight can't find a way in just yet. Doesn't have the ultimate, but JackeyLove, he sees his opportunity, dashes forward as he always does, and Knight finishes on off. Great play here by Top Esports, and now a chance to push.
Yeah, and another pick from Top Esports coming in. Suning not waiting for the respawn of SofM in order to contest this wave, and On just dies for free, essentially. Looks like they're able to clear the wave decently, but QingTian gets the tier 1 in bot lane.
And it just feels like both SofM and On, they're having to push in for vision, right? They have to be the ones to check, but at the same time, the rest of the team from Suning not able to support them, not able to back them up, and it means that Top Esports are consistently finding these picks that blow the map open. Knight, maybe he's in trouble. Flashes away himself, will get out to safety. That's a big cooldown for the next fight, though.
Oh, it's definitely really significant that he was forced to burn his flash here because of especially a pillar in game, but as you can see here, SofM getting caught, and On is split between two situations because of the engage of TES. He wants to stay around his Aphelios so that his Aphelios is able to clear mid lane, but then SofM also needs help getting control of the jungle vision. And as you see on mid lane, Knight able to suss out that then SofM is being left alone, ults onto him, gets the kill, which gives them third Drake and a fight win.
All right, next Drake not up for another 3 minutes. I'm kind of surprised everyone's just grouping around this bot side river here as On finds a double pulverize, but JackeyLove gets out to safety. It's just Zhuo in the middle of everyone as Knight jumps into the back line here, trying to do damage. It's Angel on the front line. He's in his Zhonya's, has his Kingslayer, has the Nocturne ult himself. Could dive back in. It's pure chaos here, but nobody going down as Bin re-engages and one-shots QingTian. Now Top Esports on the back foot. Zhuo trying to tank everyone up, but he ain't tanky enough for that one, buddy. He's going to go down as it's another kill for Huanfeng. Top Esports, as soon as Knight has used his ulti, it feels like they have nothing left. Bin, real aggressive, trying to proxy a wave against 3 people. He jumps in. Good. Knight with a stopwatch for the whole squad is here. Knight's caught out, taken down. JackeyLove behind everyone as Angel comes in to finish it off. And Suning with a team fight masterclass annihilate Top Esports.
And it's going to be really close here. QingTian respawns in 10 seconds, but is he going to be able to defend this alone? JackeyLove is still down for 28. With the recall from Bin coming in, it looks like they're trying to end the game here, Munch.
Can Suning even do this one? They have forever been the underdog to Top Esports, but they proved Top Esports wrong in the World semi-final, and they want to do it again here in summer. Onto the Nexus towers they go. QingTian trying to defend alongside Zhuo. They've got themselves the passive from Braum, but it's not going to be enough to stun up the members. Focus the Nexus down. Suning, the little lions that could manage to take down the Nexus, and they upset Top Esports.
That was an insane ending. It feels like it ended out of completely nowhere. We were talking about Baron setups. We thought Soul was going to be coming up, and Suning get the massive upset win here off that great team fight. It actually looked like it was going to be favored towards TES with the engage that they were able to get off. But throughout the fight, Bin not going down was able to output so much damage. That's a crazy one right there.
They thought they'd got Angel, right? We saw Angel kind of caught out in the middle of nowhere, but he had us on. He stole the Nocturne ult, gets the Kingslayer, flashes out, and then Nocturne ult so no one can see it. And then he finds that opportunity to get back in the fray. Beautifully done. And Bin just this entire game, even though his scoreline wasn't that crazy, like I think it was 1-1-2 at the 30-minute mark or something, but ultimately the pressure he was putting on, the amount of damage he did in the side lanes, the amount of work he did for the team, really exceptional. I think Angel probably going to be the one to grab the MVP for this performance, though. His Sylas looking fantastic. And we keep on talking about how Angel keeps on bringing out surprises, managing to do a good job versus Knight here today. And Knight, once again, man, this guy is 1v9 in so many games.
Yeah, Knight put on his best effort here, but I really think the story of this series was the top lane carry versus carry matchup. Bin, known as one of the best carry top laners in this league, up there with Breathe and guys like that. And QingTian is normally the stable guy. He's the guy that plays Renekton. He's the guy that plays Set. And he wasn't able to get his hands on these types of picks in this series. And when you put Bin versus QingTian, a new player from LDL, right into LPL, in these types of matchups, he's just not able to compete with him.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is when you really think about that matchup and you think about the roster for Top Esports, 369 can play that matchup. You already know. We've already seen it. We saw it at the World Semi-Final, right? Like, this is one of those series where Top Esports are going to go back to the drawing board and they are going to consider what this roster looks like. And I'm a big advocate for QingTian. I think he does deserve opportunities, but I do think you've got 369. He's a superstar that's available for you to put on your roster. And games like that really show the difference that 369 makes to an all-star roster like Top Esports. But all things considered, still a good series for Top Esports, but I think a very impressive series and one that shows that Suning are not out of the running just yet, right? I think Suning has been a team that people have criticized a lot, and a lot of people are expecting Suning really not to perform that much this split, and I'm included in those people, right? I really wasn't expecting much. After what we saw from On in spring, it felt like this was not going to be the year for Suning, but a series win like this shows a lot of power because it shows how flexible they are in the draft as well. Like, SofM bringing out the Kha'Zix and the Trundle. These are picks that we were just not expecting. And also Bin bringing out this Akali multiple times. So now that's a really powerful flex for the squad.
Yeah, I think it looks really good for Suning. I mean, in their last 3 series, I believe they also beat RNG. So they're taking down some of the perceived top teams in LPL here. If you look at this gold graph, I mean, they're behind in damage, but it's just about when they did that damage. And in that late game team fight, they were so decisive. I really like the dive that they did on the mid-tier 1 after they won that team fight. I don't think TS had any idea that the game was potentially able to be ended. And Suning able to just capitalize beautifully and took down the Nexus off just one team fight.
And it's kind of weird to see the opposite of what we're used to from top esports, right? We saw earlier on in the series, they went for scaling and it paid off massively. They were able to just hold out, win out the late game team fights. This game, they went in a different direction, right? Where they've got scaling in the bottom lane, they have scaling in the top lane, but then the mid jungle is all about just pushing in the early and mid game, right? As soon as you got those level 6s, just try and make things happen. But it didn't feel like it worked well with the Jacks and the Ezreal, who were spiking at different times in the game. It never quite felt as cohesive as what we've seen from previous top esports compositions. And Suning, on the other hand, managing to do really well in this mid game and really intelligently playing the map to make sure that there's never a big opportunity like that for top esports to be able to just slow the game down massively. And again, been side lane pressure doing a huge amount of the work to make sure that top esports couldn't find the fights that they were looking for and couldn't find the scaling onto that Jax.
Yeah, and you know, the Jax just never was able to catch up in this game. We were mentioning during the game how if they end up getting even items in Jax and Camille, the Jax is generally just considered a better champion with how broken the E dodge ability becomes. But he was never able to get there. He was permanently pretty much behind one completed item from the early game. He started the game, you know, with some pretty rough laning. His TP mid didn't help him at all, and it just felt like Bin was able to just run away with his gold lead.
And I think there's an extra thing I got to mention here, which is a little bit less analysis based and a little bit more, broadcast narrative based. But
okay.
Suning have always been a bit of a summer team. They always do better in summer than they do in spring, and it feels like they are coming into their own this summer once again. It feels like On is finally starting to mesh. Yes, he has a few bad moments, but ultimately he's looking a lot better than he did in spring and earlier on in this split. So I'm still hopeful for our Suning squad. And we already knew it, right? Angel's going to be our MVP coming out of the third game in this series. But I'm just so happy for this squad. I'm glad Angel is getting some recognition because I think that he's a mid laner that, as you were saying earlier on, really, really underrated in the grand scheme of the LPL. But this squad as well, managing to repeat what they did in the World Semi-Final, managing to once again prove that they aren't the underdog that everyone believes they are.
Yeah, and he's always been a player that's been considered slightly under the top mid laners that we have, like Knight, Scout, and Fofo, and those types of guys. But I think he's really making a case for getting up there and should be potentially considered in that top tier with those other guys.
Yeah, certainly making an argument for himself. We'll see if he can continue across the split. But we're going to head over to the stage once more, where Wendy is standing by with a winner's interview.